Would you like to improve the look of this, and this, and this, and this, and this? That's coming up next. Welcome in, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Oh my gosh, today we're talking about 5 trouble spots. Maybe they're not trouble for you, they're trouble for me, that kind of happen as we grow a little bit older. The subject of today's video is the Nebulyft and what it may be able to do for very mature, aging skin like mine. The idea for this video started a couple of months ago when I got an email from one of you, and I don't know who it was because I can't find the email now. My email inbox is a dumpster fire. In that email, one of you had taken a picture of my under eyes from one of my videos before I started using the Nebulyft, which is a radio frequency device. Included was a picture recently of my under eyes after I've been using it for a number of months. I'm not really sure how long I've been using it now. Something tells me it's maybe been close to a year. Anyway, I was so surprised at the difference in my under eyes from that email because I hadn't taken before and after pictures when I started using the Nebulyft. I originally started using the N1. This is the original Nebulyft that was available to the public. When I first started using it, I had tested and tried a few other radio frequency devices that did not pass muster. I'll tell you what, you guys end up hearing about maybe 1% of the devices and the products I get sent because most of them just aren't even worth talking about. I had tried a few radio frequency devices and was so disappointed in how they worked. The heat modulation wasn't right. They got too hot. It just was kind of a hot mess. And when I started in with the Nebulyft, I didn't do pictures because I really didn't think I was going to like it. Well, long story short, fast forward, I absolutely love the Nebulyft. This is the first one I used. This is the one that I use now. This is their R1 device. So there's the N1 and the R1. After I got that email and saw the pictures that one of you provided, thank you very much, whoever you were. If you're watching this, put a comment down below because I'm really grateful. It started me thinking about what other areas of my body I could treat with the Nebulyft and get great results as well. I ended up hopping on a conference call with the CEO of Nebulyft, Arthur. It was so educational and so informative, and I'll tell you one thing right now. I have no business being on a conference call with a real sciencey person. I was hanging on by a thread trying to understand the science and the technology behind this device. Long story short, he was so wonderful and so generous with his time and so far above my understanding level. But I did take away some really cool ideas that we can use with our Nebulyft. This video is in partnership with Nebulyft, and I'm really grateful for the time that Arthur took to spend with me on the Zoom call because I learned so much, and I'm very excited to share with you today. As always, all products that I mentioned today will be listed and linked below, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's hop into those 5 problem areas and what we can do to treat them. First off, let's talk about the 2 different models from the Nebulyft line. These are both radio frequency devices. The way radio frequency works is that it penetrates into your skin and it does the one thing that we really want when you're a little bit older, and that's to encourage collagen and elastin production. And oh my gosh, it has really done that for me. I can tell such a difference in just the firmness and the plumpness of my skin since I've been using this technology, and in particular the under eye area on my face is so very different. I first started using the N1 device, then they came out with the R1 and I started using that one. If you have the N1, please don't feel like you need to go out and buy the R1. You really don't. I had great results with the N1. However, if you're just now looking at radio frequency and you want to get a device that's really effective and very affordable for the quality of device you get, I really encourage you to take a look at the R1. This is a really cool device, and it's the one that I use exclusively now. This particular device has a 3-watt chip and delivers energy more efficiently than the N1. That's about as much as I understood from what Arthur was talking about the science behind this device. He was so very thorough with me, explaining to me how much work they put into the technology on this device to make it incredibly effective and very, very comfortable to use. The R1 has 384 of these dots on the face, and this is what actually drives the radio frequency into your skin. This has 128 more than the original device, so the head is larger and it covers a lot more area with a lot more treatment frequencies. One of the things that radio frequency does, it promotes subcutaneous collagen tightening and regeneration, and that's really what we want. When we start seeing that saggy skin or those wrinkles, that's from a loss of collagen over the years. You know, we lose about 1% of our collagen every year, so it doesn't sound like much, 1%, but now that I'm 65, I started losing my collagen when I was in my early 20s. That's a whole lot of collagen. I'm running on a lot less collagen than I had when I was much younger, so anything that I can get that's going to increase and regenerate collagen on my face, I'm all for. But here's the good news. This can actually be used on other parts of the body, and we're going to hop into that in just a minute. One of the things I learned from Arthur right out of the gate I was so excited about, and I asked him, how often can you use the Nebulyft? I had been using it almost every day, and then I thought for a minute, maybe this isn't so good for me, so I backed off to a couple of times a week. I really missed being able to use it every day because for me, this feels so good and is so soothing. It is such a lovely way to start my morning with my cup of coffee and my Nebulyft. You know, it's warm and it's slippy on my skin, and I really like running it underneath my eyes because it just feels so good and kind of acts a little bit like a facial massage, really working that lymph and that swollen puffiness out from underneath my eyes. I was missed doing it every day, so I asked Arthur, how often can you use it? And you know what he said? He said daily. I was so thrilled to hear that because I love using this device. It feels really, really good. One of the things I can tell you about this radio frequency device compared to the other devices I had tried is that the heat modulation on this is so nice. It's just nice and warm. It's not hot. A lot of the other devices I tried got too hot and they ended up burning my skin. So I'm really, really happy that this particular device is so well modulated and it feels so comfortable and so soothing to use. Using it daily can provide better results for facial edema, improve the look of under eye bags, and really help with the shrinking of pores. That's wonderful in my book. In addition, it has a 1-hour battery life, so when you charge it, you have 5 to 6 treatments ready to go with your device. I started off my conversation with Arthur and asked him about why my under eyes look so much better than they did. First of all, it's that collagen and elastin tightening and regrowth that has really helped my under eyes be a lot firmer and tighter. In addition, it stimulates internal circulation, so when I use it in the morning, it really does improve the look of my under eyes by really generating blood flow into that area. The treatment itself can reduce the darkness underneath your eyes, and I'll tell you what, for someone who's 65 years old, I really don't have under eye dark circles. It's a little bit darker than the rest of my skin, but I can't say that my under eye dark circles are really significant. I do attribute the improvement in my under eyes with using the Nebula pretty regularly. Now let's hop into the areas that Arthur talked to me about that I was so thrilled to find out we can use the Nebulyft on. I had always used it on my 11s in hopes of building up more collagen there so those 11s are less noticeable, and I really do see an improvement in my 11s. Of course, I do a lot of other things. My skincare treats my 11s and my Nebulyft does, so it is a holistic approach to treating that area. What I found out from Arthur is that you can actually use the Nebulyft on your upper eyelids. I was so tickled about that. The way you do that is you actually place the device on that bony area above your eye. You don't want to place it on the movable lid with your eye underneath it, but you can run it right along this bony area, treating that hooded area of your eye. At least it's hooded on me. I don't know, maybe it's not hooded on you. If it isn't, great. And you simply just work it back and forth on that eye area, and that's really going to help tighten and firm that upper eyelid area. I was so thrilled to hear about that. So what I do now is I simply run it all along my forehead, focusing on that bony eye area right above my movable lid, and let that radio frequency really tighten and firm and produce more collagen in that area. Another area that I use my Nebulyft on that I have been doing for quite some time is the lip area. So many of us have developed lip lines over the years. I've got them too. They're not really deep, but I definitely have them. And my lips are not nearly as full as they were when I was younger. I simply run the Nebulyft all around that lip area to help diminish the look of those lip lines and tighten the collagen and produce more collagen in my lips. And I do think that since I've started on my anti-aging skincare routine, my lips are fuller than they were 2.5 years ago, which I think is definitely going in the right direction. That's 3 problem areas for me that I can use the Nebulyft on, which I am so thrilled about. This device is so easy to use. It feels so lovely. It is just all good. So the fact that I can do something that feels good while treating my skin and increasing my collagen and elastin production is just fabulous. This next one, I just about flipped out when Arthur told me you can actually use the Nebulyft on the back of your hands. And I was just so surprised at that. What he told me is that often if someone has sensitive skin, they suggest that you test it on the back of your hand. What they found is that the backs of the hands improved in tone and texture because of that collagen and elastin tightening and regrowth. You simply just put the conducting gel on the back of your hand and work it over your skin on the backs of your hands, just like you do your face. I am so excited about that because so many of us would like to improve the look of the backs of our hands. And now we have a very easy, soothing way to do that. What I find for me is the easiest way for me to treat the back of my hands is in the evening. I just put a little bit of conductive gel on the back of my hand and I sit there and run the Nebulyft over it while I'm watching a video or listening to a book on tape. So it's super easy to do in the evening and it feels good, and it's just a lovely way to treat my hands with tender loving care. The next place I was so thrilled to hear about using the Nebulyft is on the chest area. Using the Nebulyft underneath the chin is very interesting. What I do around my neck area is I simply run it along the jowl line and right underneath my chin. I don't want to get it down lower on my neck because I want to keep it away from the thyroid and gland area here. But we certainly can use it on the chest area. Simply put the conducting gel on the chest and rub the Nebulyft over it. It feels so very good. I was thrilled to hear about that. I don't know why I didn't think about it before, but a lot of us get wrinkles or deep lines in our chest area as we get a little bit older, particularly if you were a sun worshiper. It really can create a more aged look on your chest. Being able to use the Nebulyft on that area will really increase the collagen and elastin tightening and promotion of that area and make it look smoother and more youthful. So now we have 5 major areas that kind of plague some of us as we get a little bit older that can be treated with one wonderfully comfortable, very effective device. I do have a coupon code down below if you're thinking about looking into a radio frequency device. I can tell you, of all the radio frequency devices that I tried, this is far and away the most comfortable, the most effective, just the most well-designed device. This particular one, the R1, is actually a one-touch device. So you simply just turn it on, select your intensity. I always use the highest one. My skin is not sensitive, but if you do have sensitive skin, you can use a lower intensity to make it very comfortable for you. That's all you do. Then you simply apply the conductive gel and run it over your skin. I really enjoy my Nebulyft. I feel like it's a great investment. I really do love my Nebulyft, and I find it to be extremely affordable. When you compare the pricing of going to a professional to get a radio frequency treatment, whether it's at a med spa or a dermatologist's office, the price of owning it yourself is so much more affordable. It is an investment in the beginning, but you know what? Then you own it and you can use it as much as you want. The fact that you can use this every single day and really treat your skin very effectively with radio frequency, I think it is such a bargain. That's the highlights of the information I got from my call with Arthur from Nebulyft. I'm very grateful for his time and for the information he shared. I hope you found this helpful. If you have a Nebulyft already, you can add these other treatment areas to your routine and really start seeing results. If you're thinking about radio frequency, hop on over to the Nebulyft website. They'll answer a lot of your questions there and you can find out more about the choices. I want to thank you for joining me. This was such a fun video to do. I love finding effective, affordable solutions for those problem areas that we have as we get a little bit older. I hope you found this fun, useful, and helpful. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 and over 60 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. I get so tickled when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Make it a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.